Hello, good morning. Well, it's morning for me. It's literally like 8:45 a.m. I have a busy day, but I wanted to get this filmed. But good evening, night, whatever it may be for whenever you are watching this. But yeah, today we're going to be going over everything I have saved, invested, and in debt. This is sort of a net worth tracker, but I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of changes going on, and some of these things that I'm saving for will get spent in the next year, so I don't know. And I know a lot of people in like the personal finance space likes to kind of have this 100K goal, and I do want to get there eventually. But I don't know, that's not my main priority. My main priority is just making sure I continue to invest, continue to save, continue to pay down debt. That in the long term will definitely kind of get me to 100K eventually, but like that number is not the goal as of right now, but eventually I do want to get there. Anyways, with that being said, I'll be sharing real numbers and all of that, so please don't compare. It's not meant to be a comparison. I'm not trying to brag in any way. I don't know. Some people might not even see this as a brag. This might be like, why are you sharing this? This is like terrible. But some people might be like, that's so much money, you're bragging. So first of all, not trying to brag, just trying to put some data points out there and just sharing what a normal girl's life and kind of money looks like at 27. And please don't compare to me. We're all at different points in our life. For a little background also, because personal finance is personal, I am in a very lucky and I guess privileged position. I stay at home with my parents and I have a full-time job, so I'm not paying rent, I'm not paying too many bills. So yeah, don't compare to me, and I'm not trying to brag, is all I was trying to say there. And there's my background. And I also did this video last year, so we will be doing a little bit of a comparison and seeing how much growth there is. I'm just gonna give kind of approximations in this one from last year. But if you wanna see those in detail to the cent numbers, you can go ahead and watch that video. Or if you wanna hear about some of the other things I had going on in my life, there was a little story in there as well. If you wanted to see all that, you can go ahead and watch that video somewhere after this, or you can watch that first and come back so you have some context. First, let's start off with savings. So everything that's included in savings is things like my emergency fund, sinking funds. Anyways, last year I had about $8,600 in savings, and this year we have $23,817.48. 10,000 of that is for my emergency fund, so I have that fully funded. 10,000 was my kind of part one goal. I think last year I only had about $1,000-ish in there. So over this year, I was able to really fund that. And now 10,000's not the goal, it's more 12,000. I don't know, I like that number better. Don't ask me why. But I'm not adding anything right now. It's not a main priority. I think the difference between 10 to 12,000 in terms of this amount is not that much of a difference. So I'm not really trying to add any money into it right now, but that's kind of the goal eventually. All right, sinking funds accounts for about $5,671 of that. And sinking funds again include things like travel, gift giving / donation money. I have a social and entertainment sinking fund. I also have a car maintenance, car down payment, and I also have a travel sinking fund. And then lastly, another big amount, which I hate kind of saying like I'm saving this, because I know it's just getting spent in a year, but I have about $8,146 for my wedding, which is in a savings account right now. So yeah, that's everything that's kind of in my savings right now, and honestly, I'm really proud of that. Saved about $15,000, and that's more net savings because there were times I've taken from my emergency fund and then put money back in. So I could have technically saved more, but I also took some away again. So this is kind of my net savings. And yeah, right now, wedding and car are kind of my two biggest things I want to focus on, even though those are things that will get spent, but those are kind of the things that are coming up. My wedding is in about a year, and my car is a 2005. I'm starting to need to drive around a lot more and further distances, so I'm not sure how much longer this car will survive, but I have this fund that I'm working towards. I think this is gonna be an anomaly amount of saving. I'm getting married, so I will be moving out of my parents' home, having to start paying bills, so I'm definitely going to be trying to take advantage of still being at home as much as I can, trying to save as much as I can while I'm still at home, because when will I ever have a chance to not be paying bills anymore? So really thankful for that. All right, now let's get into investments. So last year I had about $3,500 in investments, and this year I have just under $13,000. So I have $12,999.79. So the way this breaks down is that I have a couple investments in an individual brokerage account. So this is taxable and just like my own personal one. And in that I have about $1,344.37. So I don't have really too much in this individual brokerage account. Most of my investments are with retirement things. In my rollover retirement, I have $957.85. And then basically what a rollover IRA or IRA is just being able to move one retirement account to another. So when I was working at Starbucks, I was putting a little bit away, I think 3% or 5% of my paychecks, or $50 even, I don't remember. But I would put a little bit of my money away into the 401k with Starbucks. So when I left Starbucks, I put all that into the rollover IRA in my own personal Fidelity account. And that's how much is in there. And then I also have a Roth IRA or Roth IRA, which is a post-tax retirement account. So you put in your own money after taxes, but then this grows tax-free, which is pretty good. And because that is a pretty good incentive, or because there's no tax to the growth within your account, there is a $7,000 max. Right now I have $6,593.25. Currently I put in $583 every month so that I'm able to hit the $7,000 max or cap each year. This is my first year doing it, but I plan to continue just putting $583 every month until I retire. And then lastly, in my 401k, which is my work sponsored retirement account, this is pre-tax, so they'll take the money pre-tax and then you get a tax benefit. It'll lower your taxable income, and in that I have $4,104.32. Overall, from last year to this year, I've invested about $9,500 more, which is insane. But basically my investment goals right now are just to max out my Roth IRA or IRA every year, put a little bit of money towards my 401k. If I ever move jobs and there's a match, I will try to hit the match. Just put in enough to hit the match, but we'll see. Right now I'm just putting about, I think, 5%. So yeah, I do have a few individual stocks. I have Apple, Nvidia, FXAIX, which I think is a market fund or something. I know a lot of people have a more get rich quick kind of vibe. I don't feel very safe with that right now. Just mostly doing a Roth IRA where I'm investing in VOO and QQQ. And yeah, that's basically it for investing for now. And then lastly, debt. Last year I had about $13,900 in debt, and this year I have $5,762.85. So previously I had two separate loans for each year of my undergrad. I was able to pay off one fully, so one full year was paid off, and now I'm paying down the last year. Previously I've been paying a lot extra towards the minimum. My minimum is about $80, and I was paying $200 every month. So I was working towards paying that down really quickly. But I think now my priorities has changed slightly. I am now paying $100 instead of $200. So I'm still paying a little bit more, but that extra $100 is now going towards my car maintenance / car fund. Just because doing the math, my interest rate on my loan is about 4.5-ish%. A car loan will be way more in terms of interest, 8%, 12%, I don't know exactly, but the rates will be way higher than what my school loan would be. So I think in the long run, if I'm able to either not have a car note at all or pay it off quicker, with a higher down payment that will save me a lot more money in the long run. So that's why I kind of did the switch, and now I'm putting more money towards the car and less in the loan. So that is basically it for the debt portion. If we add all that up and then subtract the debt, my net worth is $31,054.42. The median net worth for Americans under 35 is around $39,000. And definitely not trying to compare myself or anything to whatever, just wanted to get a sense of what a good number is, because I honestly have no idea of what a number would be like. Anyways, that is today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful in one way or another. See you guys in the next video. Bye!